What's going on, everybody? Gambling Gamers here with our new show, Views Beyond the News. I'm Christian.
I'm Ryan.
I'm Josh.
I'm Tyler.
And today we're actually going to start talking about YouTube and some of its policy changes. YouTube actually came under fire for allowing different videos, like anti-vax videos, conspiracy videos, and actually some videos, there were sexual predators doing writing coded messages on videos of young girls. Yeah, some fucked up shit.
That's fucked. That's not okay, man.
And they came under hard fire. A lot of companies, AT&T, Disney, Hasbro, and Epic Games, actually suspended their ads from videos due to people spreading false information and the sexual predators commenting on young girls. YouTube actually personally removed ads and demonetized channels for anti-vaxxers for spreading the false information. And that's where you were talking about it yesterday. They seized several accounts and they deleted several comments and channels and shit. All had to do with people violating their actual terms of service.
Like they terminated like what was it, 400 million comments.
I was like,
off of YouTube.
And it's funny, a lot of those comments actually had to do with the sexual predator comments, because there's certain videos that you can actually look up, and it'll actually lead you to videos of like younger girls on YouTube, and they're not even like actually writing straight out messages; they're writing coded messages that are really perverted.
That's fucked.
It's crazy. You guys?
It's so.
But
weird.
There's also like I guess that original tweet that kind of sparked it was there's also like some channels that are, being termed not advertiser friendly, even though there's nothing wrong with them.
Yeah.
First tweet is, this lady says, "My 5-year-old son does gymnastics and is happy, sweet, confident boy, but YouTube deemed him not advertiser friendly." For what?
Oh, that's crazy.
And I see YouTube is a huge site. I mean, how many videos do you think get posted on YouTube a day?
Oh, millions.
Millions. At least. And honestly, if you're thinking about it, the only way they could, watch all this shit is through computer programs. But, you gotta think, what's behind the program that is, looking for the shit that should be deemed not advertiser friendly.
That's actually what I was going to get into was the algorithm they use for recommended videos. They actually 2 days ago updated their policy to actually try to filter out videos that were by anti-vax users, flat earth people. They actually filtered out so flat earth videos are not in the top searches or anything.
That's funny.
And terrorist conspiracy videos like 9/11.
Jesus. Oh, I actually like those ones.
Honestly, I've spent a couple nights, up watching
9/11
conspiracy videos.
Conspiracy theories,
Well, because conspiracy theories are fun, and I don't really think they're harmful unless you actually buy into it. Because, I mean, some of them make sense. Some of them are really far-fetched.
Some of them you're like, what the fuck? There's no way that happened. And other ones you're like...
Sir, I would like whatever you are smoking, please.
Yeah, so then other ones are like, jet fuel can't melt still beams.
Impossible! Impossible!
Going back to what Josh said about that first tweet, that person tweeted again and says, "I have highly monitored comments section and many say it is the kindest on YouTube. This makes no sense. Removed a few comments and banned the user." Well, YouTube came back and replied, "Just to be super clear, we're not saying anything is wrong with the actual video, and thank you for doing a great job for monitoring the comments section. These recent actions are due to an abundance of caution related to content that they may endanger minors."
Yeah, but they're like...
I mean, I get it.
They're giving power to
kid.
Trolls, by the way, because if there's like a video out there that's on the monetization list, and I were to see that video and just go to the comments and just be like, "Bitch tit cunt muffin," it's not gonna get monetized now. Because that comment is inappropriate, so therefore their video is ruined and they make no money.
Okay, well, honestly,
so you're giving power to all the trolls.
Should have monetized videos. Let's be real. What 5-year-old should? I don't care if it does gymnastics.
Yeah, he's clearly doing nothing wrong. In fact, he's doing a sport.
I know, he just wants to share it. Not very many 5-year-old boys are proud of their gymnastics. They do it. I think it should be embraced. Did you guys hear about what's going on in Colombia and Venezuela?
Mm-mm.
No.
Oh, boy. Lots of shit.
Isn't that like a...
It was all happening while I was laying in bed asleep this morning.
Is there a war going on in Venezuela?
Yeah, pretty much.
Venezuelan soldiers fired tear gas at workers trying to cross into Colombia.
Oh, shit. Dude, tear gas will fuck you up.
Yep.
It's amazing what's actually going on in other parts of the world. Like, what were they crossing over for?
For work.
For work?
Yeah. They were Colombian workers getting into Venezuela to do work there. And, it's like, okay.
So you're not trying to harm anyone, but
no, they're
soldiers are just like,
to
take this, motherfuckers, and you're going to steal our jobs.
That guy
Tear
definitely
gas.
does not look Venezuelan. Load up the tear gas over there, Mike.
Yeah, but they've also been having a lot of issues in Venezuela for the past couple of months.
I bet his name's Miguel.
With their
Miguel.
with their economy and everything. So like,
yeah,
you also have to think of the standpoint of how are they going to pay these workers for coming over? Like they have to stop them from at least coming over in like that point of view.
You know what they got to do, right?
Yeah, build a wall.
Build the wall.
We all know, build the wall.
No.
And you know how yesterday you were talking about that Alabama writer who wanted to see the Klan rise again? Go to
and
DC?
send him to Washington.
The newspaper that hired him replaced him.
Oh, shit,
Guess,
finally.
Okay, hold on. Guess who they replaced him with, though?
A black man.
An African-American woman writer.
Wow.
Oh,
The irony!
Yeah, that's a big fuck you to him.
The irony is what made me laugh when I read that headline today. And I was just like, you know what?
I want to know what his thought process was in writing those articles, especially in 2019.
Well, I mean, it's a culture thing if you think about it.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's what I was going to say.
Wait, what's today?
23rd.
some people are just,
Why?
raised in that type of culture. And it's just kind of like, you have your own impression. And
You also think of everything that's happened in the South so far. They've taken down every single Confederate statue.
Monument? Well, I don't think they should take those down, but those were also put up just for shits and giggles at one point.
I was like, there's two
you-
sides to...
Because
I would
those
have to agree.
statues are like hollow sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, they just put them up there for shits and giggles just so they could to try to keep the South. Like, I like the monuments because you can go and look at history. It's kind of cool. That's why I like them. I'm pretty sure there's not a lot of people out there who are like, that stands for what I believe in. We're not gonna take it down. But there are some people like that, and they are batshit crazy.
Well,
And also probably don't have any shoes and they fuck their cousin.
well, because I would have to agree from a historical standpoint, I don't think they should be torn down. Because I think future generations need to learn from our mistakes and learn what not to do and learn who these people are.
It's showing what happened.
But at the same time, I mean, you can understand why people are angry about it. I mean, it does look like you're glorifying someone who was doing bad things at the time. But
it's
still,
statue.
it's
kind of
really
like,
not, though.
Yeah, it's history. I mean,
It's all for a historical standpoint, and
So I've talked to my grandma about the whole because her mom and dad grew up during the right after the Civil War. Like they remember it happening, and G remembers when they finally mixed schools when she was little, and she thought it was the weirdest thing. She grew up in it. She never knew it before, but black people were mad too. They didn't want to be with white people because
I mean
because there was all this
terrible
funding
people.
for it. So where G lived at the time, there was a school. It was the best school where she lived, and it belonged to the African Americans. It was their school. But when they stopped segregating, they mixed. They were all mad because they didn't get the good school. They got switched into this awful school. They got switched to some it was downtown. It was falling apart school. They switched, and that's where most people went. But they African Americans got this really cool, nice school from the state. As an apology, then they changed the rules, and they didn't get the school. It wasn't theirs anymore. And everyone was mad. Black people didn't want to mix with white people. Leave us alone. We don't want to.
I mean, and you can't blame them. You can't blame them at all.
Oh no, but
well, I mean, at the time you had to think about it. You were so used to being this is where I go to school. Even if it wasn't necessarily the worst thing. You could be in a good situation. Hey, I actually enjoy going to this school.
Yeah.
But that's where I stand. You can't really force something down someone's throat. I understand at the time
forced it down there. And
it was
she
kind of necessary. It was
And
hey, yo, we've been segregated for quite some time now. we look a little sus to the outside world. Got to do a little intermingling, you know what I'm saying? But it's understandable that some people aren't happy about it. But, from a political, looking at it back now, like where we are now, I'm happy that we integrated schools. Would never met you white folk. Would have been in my own Brown County school. Reading all my animes and I would have never talked with this whole slang talk I got going on now.
Josh and I would have been together, and you and Tyler would have been together.
The only person I would know in this room is you. Yeah. That's it. The honkies would have been in the same school together.
But yeah, back in Venezuela, I just read that it's so bad now that the president of Venezuela has cut complete ties with Colombia. Oh, yeah, like trade ties, everything.
Venezuela has a president?
Wait, and it was Colombian. It was Colombian workers coming over to Venezuela.
Wait,
right?
so they have like a.
So what did Colombia do to have him cut the ties?
They do? No,
I was
kind of wondering.
It's a capitalist state.
I was kind of wondering if it was like communist or something. Isn't that South America? Venezuela and South America.
Yeah, but not all the South American states.
Most.
That's what I was wondering. Because communist kind of
spreads
it's really fast.
It's all capital.
I wonder if
that's because America was also in Venezuela at one point in time. Yeah. So I mean, it's all capitalist states.
I kind of want to flashback real quick.
Is that a priest?
Yeah, I just read a story. It's like a powerful Catholic. But yeah, it says a powerful Catholic cardinal says the church destroyed documents that could have contained proof of clergy's sexual abuse.
Wait, they did what?
He claims that the church destroyed some documents.
I believe that.
Yeah,
that could have contained proof of clergy's sexual abuse.
Sorry, do you realize that like everyone's wanting to like impeach, in quotation marks, impeach the Pope right now?
I didn't know that
for all of this.
I knew that. I remember reading the story that he actually knew the abuse of boys was going on in the church.
Yeah,
but then didn't he say he didn't know about the nun one, or did he actually know about that as well?
Wait, what?
I mean,
he's the Pope.
If you knew about,
it's kind of like the FBI.
The man talks to Jesus on a personal basis. He's got to know what's going on.
He's got the ties, dude.
If you knew, let's be honest real quick. Like, if you knew that these priests were sexually assaulting these kids, like you would have to know that your nuns were.
I mean, it's a
what? Hold
on. He doesn't know.
Please talk about the nuns.
There was an article. There was an article written that there was actually sexual abuse going on amongst nuns in the Catholic Church as well. Like priests were abusing nuns. Yeah, not just the children, but nuns as well.
Yeah.
God, why are dudes such assholes?
I don't know.
I mean, you have to think they're tied up. Like they can't have any correlation with.
Go beat your meat, then tell Jesus you're sorry. That's how that works.
Hey man, I mean
How much worse of a sin is it if you're a priest and you beat your dick?
How much worse is it if you're a priest and you rape a nun?
Okay, no, we're not talking about that.
Well, let's talk about the serious issue here, boys. Is it really that wrong to beat your dick?
No.
I mean, you can always just go up to God and be like, yo, man, a man gotta do what a man gotta do.
There's actually health benefits for it. It actually reduces doesn't it reduce the chance you get prostate cancer? Because it cleans out the pipes. Yeah. So it's actually healthy for a man to beat his meat.
I think I read that it was healthy. You should probably ejaculate 21 times a month.
Sweet.
We on good pace this month, I tell you what.
I've doubled that.
I think I tripled that number, but...
Oh, dude, when I first figured out
I
could beat my meat, I was like, I wonder how many times I can do this before I just
Ladies and gentlemen,
my wiener
views
stops
beyond
working.
the news. Today we talk about beating our meat.
Well, hold on. Let's go back to
the number was 12.
Let's finish the Pope thing. I think it's crazy that he's actually under fire for knowing all about it, and there's nothing that could be done about it. There's so many different people. And it's weird because, wasn't there an article where, one priest actually molested, 200 boys or some shit? It was some outrageous number.
Yeah.
It was huge.
And that was it wasn't in Italy. I want to say it was in, Spain?
I mean, you gotta think, if you're the Pope and you're hearing all this shit in your right ear and you're like, oh my God.
What
sorry,
do you
God.
do?
You're you can't just be like, hey guys, Popey here.
Yeah,
I want to apologize for my fellow brothers in Christ
for molesting your children.
They've been touching little boys.
Yeah.
You can't just come out with that. If you're the Pope and you're the most holy person on the planet Earth, and you know this shit, is it worse to keep it inside, or is it worse to be like, I supervise people who touch little children?
Yeah.
It's weird the kind of power the Pope has. I mean, he's basically
the president.
He's basically right there next to Jesus at that point down
Yeah.
here on Earth. Like so many people look up to him. He's got so much control, and they just. I don't want to say the Catholic Church is corrupt because obviously they do some sort of good. They help people.
Is a money grab.
It's a total money grab.
Church is always a money grab.
Because no matter how much money you give them, they're building bigger and more expensive shit that they most likely wouldn't need.
I would love to know how much in total the Catholic Church has in their bank. In that account.
Well, because remember, I told you about the article I read that the Catholic Church actually backs quite a few porn websites just because it's all money. Yeah, like it's a sin, but they can make money for it.
Yeah, it's. I mean, they gotta have a lot of money.
Okay,
the Pope has a Lamborghini.
Money.
The Pope has
a Lamborghini.
Okay.
That man is
nothing is more stylish than the
now.
Pope mobile. That glass box on top. Come on.
Hey yo, let me sit up on my chair. What up, peeps?
You know how much
your
fun
Pope
it would
is
be
here.
to ride in the Pope mobile?
That'd be so.
It'd be dope, honestly.
It would honestly be pretty dope.
But would it worth being a virgin forever?
I bet there's some popes who like got it on in their youngin' days and realized, you know what, I'm gonna be a priest, and then they took that.
Well, I mean, they're allowed to, retake celibacy. Anyone could become celibate.
Yeah.
Well,
personally, I've been celibate.
me and Ryan were talking
about it for a while now, but
me and Ryan were talking about it on the way over here, and I honestly kind of think, the further we progress as a nation, the further we progress as people, I think we're moving out of the times priests should be allowed to marry.
Yeah.
Especially if stuff like that's going on behind doors where they're touching children, abusing nuns. I almost think they need their own private life at home. They need somebody. I don't think it'd be bad.
Yeah.
I mean, I get you're supposed to be married to the church, but I think it's also kind of weird that the church has a standpoint of, you're not allowed to marry, you're not allowed to have sex.
Jesus never.
Those priests are married to the church and have a lot of little side houses on the side.
I think it's ridiculous. You should just let them marry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially at this point, I think it would solve quite a few problems.
Be a little healthy.
I mean, it's not like the old days. You could be like, "Oh, you got caught molesting a kid, stoned to death." Like, you can't pull that priest out in the fucking streets and just.
But that's
unless you're the Alabama senator, newspaper writer, just send the Klan up there to deal with the priest.
I say we send the Klan to Rome.
That's what I was telling
Get
Christian
rid of
on our way
those
over
children
here,
touches.
Much of this priest stuff happened in America or like other places?
It's happened everywhere.
Actually,
everywhere.
Oh, I was telling
it's like
wasn't there
global
a priest recently like arrested in like Wisconsin or something for it?
Well,
wasn't he relocated like Massachusetts? He was relocated.
So Tyler, where we live,
Yeah,
there is a priest. There's
two.
two. I think there was 3 priests here that got arrested for that too.
In
Like,
Texas.
in here, like no, in our town.
Not in Lubbock.
Yes,
I doubt that.
I bet you $100 that if you look it up right now on.
Show me the Carfax, skinny penis.
show him the fucking
I'll
Carfax,
have
brother.
to show him the Carfax. Hold on.
What if you actually typed in Carfax on priest?
This priest is known to molest several children. Yeah, no, we're gonna have to go
How
with
does
the
it
other
even
guy.
happen though? Like I don't
Well, I mean, everyone is a little fucked up in the brain.
So I know.
Some
that,
people
I
like
know.
to light things on fire.
I love lighting things on fire, but
some
You
people
son of a
fancy
bitch.
some people fancy touching little boys.
but like how? I don't like. How do they get that little boy like alone? Because usually it's like if it happened at our school, the only time we're ever alone with the priest would be in confession. What's he gonna do? You'll be forgiven if you show me your tallywhack.
Here's the report
like,
right here.
And you know what's crazy? This was actually reported later than January 31st. This is very recent.
Yeah, it says Bishop Robert Corver has released a list of Catholic priests within the Diocese of Lubbock who have been credibly accused of sexual abusing minors. The announcement came on Thursday after a deadline of the same release was set on September 30th, a date agreed upon by all 15 dioceses within the state of Texas. This list, which dates back to 1950, is an effort to improve the safety of all Catholics within the state, which is estimated to be around 8.5 million people.
What the fuck?
Yeah, so we've had priests here, even in our town, that have, sexually abused minors.
See, the only reason I didn't go through with converting to Catholicism is because there's so much Catholic Church is so much.
Just for
Shit,
the record,
hold on.
Just for the record, me, Ryan, and Josh are Catholic. Tyler's Episcopalian.
I'm Episcopalian.
Yeah.
I don't claim to be anything anymore.
I don't really either, but
I'm just kind of chilling.
If I had to identify, I would go back to that.
I'm a guy. I believe in a God.
Yeah,
I have hair right now.
That's about it.
I believe in God, but here's the problem that I have with the Catholic Church.
I don't know
with the Catholic
if I believe
Church.
in God anymore or not. I just don't know.
There's just so
Kinda
many,
chilling.
like with the Catholic Church, there's so many viewpoints, like theological viewpoints that the Catholic Church looks at.
And they make sense, but then you go off and touch little boys. I'm just
Yeah.
like,
Hold on, I also just want to clarify that we're not bashing the Catholic Church. This is just an open discussion.
Yeah, this is something.
I could bash church in general. If I'm honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, I could too. Just
I
because
used to
disagree.
be one of those hardcore, I go to church, I love church, all that shit. But,
Jesus is your friend.
the more you look into it, the more it is just
the more
money.
you question all of it.
Have you ever been to, like, Tech has this, like, tech church thing.
Yeah,
It's all just a money grab. Wherever you go, any church you go to, it's all about the money.
Mm-hmm.
it is.
I hate the donation baskets.
Yeah, I don't.
Those make me so upset.
Because like you put your money in the donation basket, but you look at it from when we started in pre-K to now, going back to that church, like what have they changed? Honestly?
Where's all that money going?
Yeah, where does it go?
Because I mean, they ended up building a new church tower at our school.
Yeah.
No name drop. And that was it. No matter how many donations they take, that money just kind of.
The thing is, they always claim that they're still paying off the FAC. Our mortgage on it ends in the next 3 years now, guys.
Yeah,
our mortgage ends in the next 3 years. It's that week again, guys.
But
We're asking for your donations.
you know damn well that the people who built the FAC dropped money on that.
They
anyways.
donated that shit.
Yeah, you know damn well they did.
You
That's
know
why
they
built it.
donated the new
Also,
library. You know
the
they
thing about the
donated
donation
half that
basket
shit.
is, if people donate, it makes them feel good about themselves, so they keep
Yeah,
doing it.
because they think they're giving to a good cause.
So they're like, so like, you know what? I might have cheated on my wife this week. I'm gonna donate $100. It's gonna be forgiven.
God will forgive me.
Take my Benjamin Franklin, God.
It makes people feel good to fucking put money in the donation basket, even though it doesn't mean jack shit besides a church.
Do you remember who the guy was that made the 99 claims?
Are you talking about the guy who was selling like things so you could get into heaven?
Yeah, wasn't it called the Martin?
Back when the church had this big scandal of the guy.
Oh, the dude that nailed the rules on the door
with like the 99 claims or something like that.
Oh, that's
what you're talking
that's the Episcopal Church got started. It was that guy.
Yeah.
It was like the Catholic Church, and the Catholic Church did some weird shit, and this guy was like, I don't like this anymore. I'm going to change some shit and make my own church. And the Episcopal Church was formed.
Well, because I was talking about the guy back...
Martin Luther?
Martin Luther.
Like, it's crazy that, like, back in history, back in a certain point in time, the church was actually selling... what do they call the things that would, like, free you from your sins? They were, like, selling tickets to heaven, basically.
Yeah, it's...
basically, they were, like, selling your forgiveness.
Yeah, it was, like, forgiveness.
Yeah,
That's kind of what you still do today, though. You're still giving money. You feel good at church. You kind of feel like you're
it's like
a good
it's like one of the
person.
things, like, when you're younger and, like, you cuss or something and you had to put a penny in a jar.
Maybe a swear jar.
It's a swear jar. So it's pretty much like a sin jar.
It's
That
a sin
shit,
jar.
It's a
that
sin
shit
jar.
never worked with my family. My mom would be like, that's it. Joshua, come here. Put $1 in the jar. I'm like, Mom, I don't have a fucking dollar. What do you mean?
Mom, I'm like 6. I'm fucking broke.
She's like, put $2 in the jar. I'm like, Mom, fuck off. $3, motherfucker. Oh, mama.
I got you.
It's $1 for you now.
I was like, they basically took that concept that they tried to fuck with people back in the day with, and they stretched it out to make it look more plausible and make it look like you were actually giving.
Yeah. So, like, when we went to Italy...
I was waiting for you to grab one of those.
When we went to Italy, like, you can see, like, how much money that the people made to make those churches.
I cannot believe how fucking... I wonder how expensive the basilica was
Yeah.
to make.
Like, I can't imagine the upkeep on it.
See, like,
now.
that, like, back then,
I
that
bet
would
the
make
upkeep
sense.
on it is millions of dollars.
You know what I mean? Like, back then, that made sense to build churches that beautiful.
And that big, yeah.
Because that was the style of that time.
But
period.
now look
Things
at it.
were
Like,
big in
what
People
do
don't
we...
make churches that big. They just kind of upkeep them. But I wonder how expensive it is to upkeep that basilica. That thing is fuck. You can put the Statue of Liberty in the building. That's ridiculous.
So, like, back then, that would make sense for that whole money grab thing to build your church.
I remember
during
a
the
story of
Renaissance,
Jesus breaking bread in a little hut.
Yeah, he didn't have no big value.
I'm just saying. And Jesus also did that when he, fed the people with 2 fish and 1 loaf.
Yeah.
Like, do you really think that he needed a church for that? No. As long as it was just the people being there.
Mandated by the water.
Like, he was just doing good deeds.
Yeah, exactly.
The man was just doing right by the people.
And now we've come to a point where...
Hey, give me your money. I want a more pretty church.
Now we're coming to a point where the people in Vatican City right now are still waiting for the Pope to be like, I am sorry for what is happening, but he still hasn't come out and said sorry or anything.
He's trying to do damage control right now.
Yeah.
Could you imagine the amount of damage control you would have to be if you're coming under fire for priests molesting globally?
I'm just saying he better do something quick before he gets impeached. I don't know what it's called, when you...
Can you like...
That's what I'm saying. I don't know what it's called or how to get rid of a Pope.
And be like, we don't like you.
Do you just annul the Pope?
Yeah, I don't know. No,
I think you could force him to retire.
Yeah, I think that's
kind of like
what
the
it is.
Watergate scandal.
Yeah.
Like you don't actually impeach them, but you pressure them enough to where they choose to.
Because you know what else I'm thinking about? Like, in Italy, do they have a president or something? Like a prime minister? Or is it just the Pope?
No.
Okay.
Vatican City is its own country state.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Pope is in
That is
charge of it.
crazy.
That is his city.
That
Yeah,
is he is
Inside those gates.
He is the dictator.
That man is Trump.
Like we had,
He's Trump.
we had to show our passports to get into Vatican City.
Like, I don't think you.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
You know, we had to take them with us. We had to, I remember mine came around my neck because you're supposed to keep.
I just remember walking in. I just saw so many people with guns in there, and I was like, "God, what are we walking into? This is supposed to be a holy place. Why they got people with
I remember I
M16s
walked in
walking
there
with
and I
me?"
had my passport in my back pocket, and I remember Miss Reyes just standing behind me. Josh, and I was like, "Yes, Miss Reyes." And she goes, "Do you want to lose your passport?" And I go, "Yes, I guess not." And so the whole entire time we were in Vatican City, I sat there with my passport in my hand like this, looking at her just like,
I will not put this down. This is my life. This is my passport. There are many like it, but this one is mine.
Could you imagine if you named your passport like you name an AR?
God.
This one's Billy.
My passport will be named Sarah. If that's going to be it.
Okay. If you had to name an AR, what would you name it?
Sarah.
Sarah?
Sarah, brother.
Let me cock up Sarah real quick.
Let me get her ready real
Sarah's
quick.
not bad.
Sarah.
What would I name it?
I'd name mine Miss Daisy.
Miss Daisy.
Ain't nothing like riding Miss Daisy.
I was about to say, driving Miss Daisy around.
I'll be driving Miss Daisy. What's up, fellas?
Damn, I don't know what I would name mine. I've got no clue.
6-shooter 59.
Pussy Destroyer 69.
Bonnie.
There's a part in Game of Thrones where, like, Joffrey's trying to name his sword. He's like, what should I name my sword? And some dude in the crowd's like, Widow's Well.
Yeah.
And he's like, I love Widow's Well. Reminds me of every time I cut up Ned Stark's head. You just see Sansa in the corner like, bitch, where? Bitch, where?
No, I was going to go back and talk about how, like, we were talking about how big and expensive churches have become. But do you remember the story in the Bible where Jesus went to the temple and they were, like, selling shit and he tore everything?
He was like,
He, like,
hey,
started
motherfucker,
throwing
Jesus,
shit.
boom, boom.
Jesus straight up went into this motherfucker like, hey, chill.
He got angry and flipped tables.
And he whipped him,
shit.
too.
Do
And
you
he
think
whipped
he'd-
him.
Do you think he'd walk into, like, say, like, our church where they have, like, the pamphlets laid out and there's people trying to give you shit?
Yeah.
I think he'd walk in and they'd be like, what the fuck is wrong with you people?
Do you think...
He comes in with a sledgehammer, starts breaking shit down. Like, you don't need this, you
Yeah,
don't
so,
need
like,
that.
I like, wonder that sometimes, too. I'm like, when I sit there in church, I'm
For some
like...
reason, I kind of imagine Jesus walking
Jeez.
in, kind of like he had the Force and just crushing shit.
He's like,
Just like, dude, just like
that big
looking
ass
around,
down,
just
he's
like,
like, we don't need that.
just like,
whoosh.
and just like destroying everything.
Yeah.
Just like,
I don't know.
I don't know why my first thought was like, but Jesus would have the
Jesus
Force.
is the
Because Jesus would be the type of dude to have the Force.
He
Like,
would
let's be
definitely
honest.
have the Force.
Yeah, let's
like,
be real.
he'd
Jesus
walk
come in there and just
be like,
fucking...
what the hell is up? Just grabs the bell, just
Man,
just
no one-
rips
no one-
it out of the fucking.
No, my dumb ass would be like, Obi-Wan Kenobi?
He does look like Obi-Wan
You're my
Kenobi.
only hope.
I'm sorry.
What's that
I was just here because I was told.
What does General Grievous always say to Obi-Wan? No, he says something.
Obi-Wan comes down and goes, hello there, Obi-Wan Kenobi.
I've been training in Jedi arts by Count Dooku.
Hold on, you're telling me that you...
Okay.
But you've only seen the first 3, right?
I've seen all of them.
I've seen the first 6.
Oh, you've seen all of them?
I've seen them once when I was like...
You're telling me it's a nerdy idea to want to be a fucking Jedi.
No, you should...
You're telling me
No.
you would never be a Jedi if given the
I
opportunity.
would
I'm
totally
not
be a
saying
Sith
that.
Lord.
I'm not saying that at all.
They
I'm
have
saying
way
that-
more powers and way more power. It's
and
fucking-
so much more pussy.
Look,
I'm pretty sure Jedis are celibate because Anakin was not supposed to bang Padme.
Anakin was like, whoa.
Anakin,
was
so
not-
Anakin was part of the Catholic Church and said, yo, fuck that shit.
and just like-
I want that blessed.
just bang Padme on the
Yeah,
side.
and Obi-Wan
he
was like, bruh.
All I'm saying
Did
is the
Obi-Wan
actual
know?
like franchise
Yeah.
in the movies are nerdy. But no, if you had the chance to become a Jedi, who's not going to take that?
Yeah, some nerd. I don't know. I would love to be a Jedi.
Trump.
Yes,
Trump would definitely not be a Jedi.
no, he
Trump would be like, we need to build a wall. We
Trump-
need to get the Jedi
Trump,
out of
honestly,
America.
he'd be Jabba.
No, Trump
He would be
honestly has the
Jabba.
intelligence of like Jar Jar Binks. He's just a loudmouth idiot.
Yes.
Like,
He'd be like,
Hey, Jar Jar, me build wall.
well, because I mean, all he does build wall.
me Jar Jar Binks, me build wall.
Because I
Me
mean,
Jar Jar Binks, no like brown people.
like the thing with Trump, like I don't think I don't think he's done anything horribly wrong in terms of like the Russia investigation. I think they're just trying to find a way to impeach him. But I do think the man's an idiot.
He's such an idiot.
I think he's just a dumbass in the way he thinks. And like my dad told me, like,
Me Jaja, me love Twitter.
that like his executive like time that he gets to himself is 60% of his time during the day.
You know, he's just
Like
sitting there like
he literally doesn't take phone calls in the office till 11 a.m. He does not take phone calls. He just does his own thing.
What if he's just like sitting on the toilet? Me love Twitter.
Because
All of his tweets are from the Imperial Office of the Dump.
you guys heard what he installed in the White House, right?
What?
But
No, he spent $50,000 of his own money to install a golf simulator in the White House because he can't go out to the range and play golf as much as he wants.
Well, let's be
So
honest.
he installed his own golf simulator.
Where did
Okay,
where did they have room for
Obama
that?
had a little bowling alley, so I mean, you know, you're a
But the
president.
bowling alley was already there.
I don't know.
And Obama was a total badass.
You know,
He got see.
Thanks,
I don't
Obama.
see. I didn't like his. I didn't like his political views.
Be prepared
But-
to drink the juice.
But he was a cool president. He,
He
got
was a cool
along with the
president.
people.
Yeah.
Like
There's like a picture of him
understood-
pooping on some white dudes,
He-
and I'm like, yo, that's my guy right
Obama
there.
had a certain type of swagger too.
Like,
He did.
Yeah, I mean,
Obama
I'm like,
did.
I'm like, that's a president about to jam on some honkies. I
Yeah.
like that guy. That's funny
When
as
the
shit, 'cause
president
I've
comes
been
in-
jammed on.
Well, not to mention he does cool shit like he did the Key and Peele thing,
Yeah.
where he like let Key do the enforcer thing.
Dude,
at
that
the
shit
speech.
was so goddamn
He's
funny.
so chill.
And like one of the funny things, the commercial where he's trying to put the cookie in the glass and like,
Thanks, Obama.
Yeah, he
thanks,
can laugh at
Obama.
himself.
I'm just like, he can take a joke. Like,
Yeah.
you
That-
call Trump a Cheeto, he's gonna like. Here's a Twitter paragraph of how much. more
He's gonna
stupid I
threaten
am.
somebody. He's gonna call up fake news. He's just gonna.
You look like if Vladimir
Thanks,
Putin, if Vladimir
Kanye. Very
Putin
cool.
put on Twitter, you look like a Cheeto. Trump's response would be like, missiles are arriving, and it's just like, oh shit, World War III was
Mr.
started.
Vladimir Putin likes to think he's a big tough Russian, but
Shoot.
guess what, bud?
I-
Good luck dodging my $1 million missiles.
When I
And
saw
then
that,
World War III starts because
when I
Putin
saw that
called
picture,
him a Cheeto.
when I saw that picture of Putin on that fucking bear holding a two AK-47s, I said,
Shirtless.
yeah, shirtless, fucking ripped to shit. I was like, God damn, Putin's a monster.
Dude,
Russia has the
No,
best leader
dude,
ever.
dude, you want to know something? It's illegal for people to own that picture in Russia.
Why?
They
Really?
can't own propaganda against Putin. They can't.
That's
they-
propaganda.
That's not against him.
No,
I mean,
that's-
that makes it look
that's
like
for him.
No, he doesn't like stuff like that. If people own it, you can be arrested for it.
Damn,
I'm
that
not
man's
even
humble.
kidding. Like
That man said, "Don't treat me like that."
you can't own anything against him or that makes him look bad. Like to the people, he's trying to make himself look the best. You can't own
Yeah.
anything like
I was
that.
about to say, I was like, I don't know if he's like being humble about it or he's just like,
I mean, I'm sure the man wants mad respect.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure he does.
There's this meme I saw on
Is he like
Twitter.
he's a dictator. He wants total control.
It was like Vladimir Putin challenges the USA to a game of 21. Who do you pick? Barack Obama? Donald Trump? I'm picking Obama
for
10 times
obvious
out of 10.
reasons.
Like
It is
I-
not
like-
because he is a black man.
like my family's Republican, and we don't like Trump. Like we're Republican and conservative, and Trump can go fuck himself. He's an idiot. Makes every other Republican and conservative look dumb.
Well, it's
I don't want to get
because he's got the
political
redneck
here.
population behind him.
Yeah,
But my mom told me she was going to revote for Trump, and I disowned her. So.
Sorry, Mom, I can't have that negativity.
dude.
in
When
the
there's
house.
an entire group of people going woo, it
Yeah!
usually never ends well, and then it ends with like centuries of us going, we are so sorry.
Y'all want to go hit
Like-
back row with old Trumpy?
Like
I can't
God,
believe,
no.
honestly, in 2020, I can't believe Bernie Sanders is running again.
"Yo,
I
feel
can't
the
believe,
burn."
I can't believe
Yeah.
there's actually 2 females running for president. I think
yeah.
that's crazy.
Who?
It's. I don't remember who they were.
Yeah, you're talking about the
One's Elizabeth Warren, and
Yeah.
she's batshit crazy.
that
Yeah.
one. That is that the one that was ex-CIA?
And
All
there's
I
some
know
old
is that
white
she
lady.
is really fucking... Okay, I hate to get political.
Which
I
we
find
promised we
myself...
wouldn't do.
We promised we wouldn't. I find myself on the left side of things most of the time. But I'm the type of guy to see Elizabeth Warren and be like, goddamn liberals. Holy shit.
Dude, some
and you're
liberals
strongly
are.
liberal.
Okay, yeah, I am, but like, she's that type where I'm just like, holy
Dude, some
fucking
liberals are
shit.
batshit crazy, and some of them I'm like, I understand where you're coming from.
Elizabeth Warren came out and said, I identify as a potato. I would be like, yep, that doesn't surprise me, Elizabeth Warren. You're pretty batshit crazy.
She's pickle Rick.
See, okay, we're really fucked. Okay, on one side we got Trump. The other side we have socialism and a crazy bitch.
Socialism's
What are we
not
gonna
good.
do?
Dude, I hate people who are like, socialism's a great idea. I'm like, it's not a good idea because stealing, even if the government says it's okay to steal, it's not okay to steal, and that's what socialism is.
Yeah, socialism.
Like the government at one time, there was a law saying you could euthanize the mentally retarded. It was.
I bet Bill
You
Nye
could
the
do
Science
it.
Guy back then.
Bill Nye was like, hey, science proves it.
You want to know who else
You could
backs
do
that?
it. It wasn't
Tom
illegal,
Cruise.
but
Tom.
it doesn't mean it's morally right.
Scientology will prevail.
I was gonna say
You
Tom
know who
Cruise
should run
and
for
his
president?
Tom
Tom
Cruise.
Crude.
Tom fucking Cruise.
No, you know who else needs to run for fucking president?
Dwayne The Rock
Mark
Johnson.
fucking Wahlberg.
I don't know.
Dwayne
If
The Rock
Dwayne The
Johnson.
Rock Johnson ran for president,
I hope that anybody
I
in the White
honestly
House.
would vote for him.
I hope that everybody in the White House has to call him the Rock. Like, I'm not
Yeah.
the president.
Like-
I'm the Rock.
Hey,
Dude.
President Rockman.
Yo, President Rock.
President Rock.
President The Rock.
Do would people call him The Rock or Mr. President? Like Mr. Rock President?
Mr. The Rock President, sir. Dwayne.
That sounds like a bad wrestler name. That's what it really sounds like.
President The Rock Johnson.
President The Rock Johnson.
That's
Okay,
amazing.
I don't think he'd be a good president.
Yeah, that's like
I would think
But,
if
like,
anything.
if
I
the
think
man,
he's a lot
like-
more level-headed than a lot of presidents we've had in the past. Like, look at the order we've had. Like, Obama was like the only one who was like level-headed, and at the end, he just didn't give a shit. He was just like, I'm gonna go on with the memes and just make
7.5
everybody
years
laugh.
into it, he was like, this fucking sucks.
him and Biden had the best memes ever. They were
Dude,
so
they were
good.
great.
really
and what's
were.
funny is they like knew about the memes and embraced it.
Yes, they did.
That's so-
They were they were in touch with a generation like us who loves memes.
I was about to say,
They
I was like,
just-
that's what I was about to say. I was like, damn, they really got our generation. Like, they didn't care.
Well, and I mean, that's the one thing that I think Trump actually does properly is how much he's on Twitter. He's connecting with people via social media by throwing his views out there. The way he words them and what he chooses to say is fucking stupid.
Thanks,
But he's
Brian.
connecting
I'm
with
surprised
a
there's
younger
not a person
generation.
next to him at all times, and if he starts typing on Twitter, they're like, let me proofread that.
Yeah, but
You
do like,
cannot send that.
but you do realize, like, the generation that did vote for him, right? It wasn't the millennials. It was us. It was Generation Z.
we are millennials.
No, we're not. We were born in 97. But millennials end at 95.
Millennials are
Yes.
like, some millennials are like 35 years old. Millennials a giant generation.
Yeah, but look
yeah, I'm gonna
look
it
when it ends. It ends at 95.
millennials, dude.
Yes.
No, we are millennials.
No, we're Gen Z. We're the beginning of Gen Z.
dude, we're
Actually,
millennials too.
Josh is the beginning of Gen Z.
Don't touch me in my chest again. But yeah. And for that, we say,
Actually,
Thanks,
yeah, it says right
Obama.
here. Pew
thanks
Research,
for being a meme.
Pew Research Center announced this week that they would be applying the term millennial only to those people born between 1981 and 1996.
Hey, yo!
So
So
that
you're a
means-
millennial.
Suck my
You're a
dick,
millennial.
bitches!
That means all millennials, at least according to Pew, will be between the ages of 22 and 36.
Hey, yo!
See, those
So you're the
millennials.
only. You got different views. Get out of here. No.
Yeah.
Thanks, Obama. I really wish you were my father.
Dude, I think it'd be the cool. Like, it'd be so fucking cool to meet Obama. That'd be so fucking sweet. You know what's stupid? You know his daughter keeps coming under fire for like she's like I think she's 20
There
years
was
old.
some-
She's
Something
20. She
in
just
the-
turned 21, and she had like, what was it? Wine
There was,
or
like,
She was
some
drinking
champagne.
wine at
She
a
was
pool
drinking
with her
wine at the
friends, and it
pool,
was like
yeah.
a giant headline. I was like, oh, so she's being fucking
Oh
20
my
years
god!
old. Like,
She's being a college
Yeah,
student,
let's just
guys.
Oh god, you got really loud on the soundbar there.
She's being
Let
a
her-
college
I
student.
was like, yeah,
Like,
let her
she's
be a
being a
college student. Like, let her live a
Okay,
little
so you're
bit.
telling me if you went back in time and you looked up Trump's college days, you don't think that man drank a couple beers when he was 19?
Shoot,
I
I wouldn't be
bet that
surprised if he
dude
smoked
molested
weed.
Actually, you know what's funny? My dad was telling me a story the other day. He had read this article that Trump actually got somewhat drafted to go into the military, but Trump's father actually,
Paid to get
with their
out of the
personal
public.
doctor, had the doctor make up some fake injuries that Trump had that wouldn't allow him to go into the military so he could continue a business route. He was supposed to be like drafted into the Marines and shit.
Well, I mean, if I'm honest, the draft is kind of pointless.
I think it is pointless.
Unless we're like in World War III,
Yeah.
no one should have to sign up for a draft. And if there was like if the World War III ever started, I don't really think you would need a draft.
Yeah, you
I feel
know
like there's
damn well we're
plenty-
just gonna go.
Plenty of young men and women would just be like,
I'm there.
Yeah,
fuck yeah.
I'm there. Fuck that. I'm not gonna be here and
Like,
die. I want
You
to
are
die
not
somewhere
bombing
else.
me, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
I'm not eligible, so
I think there's
I mean,
so many
yeah,
people
there's
that
some
would be
people that
willing to lay their
I'm the first
life
son
on the line
and
just
I
for the
have
country.
Yeah, I
one in
would.
one eye.
I'd
I
go
mean-
out there on a
I mean,
heartbeat.
And it's
I mean, I
crazy.
couldn't. I'm
It's
the
crazy
first
because
son.
it doesn't. I'm first and only son, so I'll probably.
Yeah, but I'm the only son. But I
Well,
put on my paper.
They could take me because my brother.
I was gonna say I put on my
prepared the
paperwork
game.
specifically. If a war breaks out Marines, and that's it. I don't care if I'm the first son. I had to sign
Well, like,
paperwork for the state.
It's crazy that it doesn't matter
You
how
would
much
pass out the
turmoil.
first day of Marine boot camp on me.
It doesn't matter how
No.
much turmoil this country's in, and like, you know, people are kneeling for the anthem, people are pissed at Kaepernick, Nike's doing everything to make people mad with Kaepernick. Doesn't really matter. There's still millions of people in this country who would gladly just be like, yeah, I'll go fight them. Fuck it, you're not bombing this place.
Oh yeah, this
And
is
most
our
of them are like, woo!
That's me. That's me. I'm ready to go out there.
I know.
Give me my serum, put me in the front line.
I know.
Frontline's
so
gonna die.
many people who would just be like World War III. Let's go get them, boys. Let's go kill some Russians. Woo!
You know,
And then they're off.
I know lots of liberals too who would just be like, if World War III broke out, they'd be like, yeah, I'm fucking there. You know, who cares how shit this country is? I'm not letting it become a fucking Russian state. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like,
It doesn't matter how fucked it is, they're willing to go.
and so, like, in my opinion, the draft is kind of pointless.
Yeah, I honestly is.
God. You know, freaking my aunt and uncle think World War III is going to happen within our lifetime.
I think it will.
Do you remember that
I give
game
it at
we were
least
playing?
5 more years.
And so, okay, I was in a game the other day, and I know we weren't going to talk about a game, but this is kind of relevant. I was just sitting there, you know, minding my business in a bush, waiting to, you know, start the game up. And this guy just goes in the all chat.
What are you playing? Oh, League.
Yeah, do you think it's possible that there would be nuclear warfare in our lifetime?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah,
within
definitely.
10 seconds, everyone in the chat goes, yes.
Yes,
Oh, for sure. Without a doubt. And I just sat there, I was like, holy shit. We might be fucked.
Yeah, it's like
everyone is just sitting there like, yeah, it's probably possible.
we're probably gonna die.
Like,
That's gonna happen.
Let's be honest. We're all kind of waiting for the day that we're going to hear our breaking news saying, get indoors. You know.
Get under your desks in class. Remember, okay, there was one time, I won't say his name, but we were in class, and it was
Oh.
one of our teachers actually did a fake nuclear test, and he actually picked up his phone, like his classroom phone, and he picked it up, and he was like pretending to talk, and he goes, all right, guys, I need everyone to get under their desks right now. Putin has actually threatened the U.S. with nuclear warfare. He scared the shit out of all of
I don't
us.
remember that.
We all ducked under our desks, and everybody was like panicking. There were actually some people who were like saying final prayers just in case it was real.
All the girls started crying.
All
Yeah.
the girls started crying. All of us were sitting here like, God, there's so much shit I wish I could have done in this high school right now.
I looked at Christian. I said, "Damn, this is it. This is
I was
how
like,
we're
there's so
gonna
many
die."
I'm pretty sure the first thing I said was like, God, I just touched a boob like
Yeah.
last week. I'm pretty sure it's something I would have said. Or
And-
like, I haven't even seen a vagina yet.
And like
God
he
damn it.
ducked under his desk behind the board and shit. And then like 5-10 minutes later, he popped up and told us he was joking. He's like, I was just preparing you guys for what it might be like if, you know, we're in class and we get threatened with nuclear warfare. We're like, you are such an asshole.
But you know what's also crazy? Like thinking about that, our parents had to go through that type of simulation training like every month
Oh, yeah, during the Cold War.
during the Cold
Yeah.
War. Like they were also just they're
What was the time period of that? I don't really
the
remember.
70s.
Was it the 70s? Okay, my dad was born in 72, so he was like little.
Yeah, my
But he
mom.
probably remembers it in like kindergarten and
Well,
stuff.
that's
Yeah.
cool. My dad was selling coconuts on the streets of the Philippines. So we're not assholes.
my mom was.
I can't tell if you're fucking with me or not.
He's
My
not.
mom. My
I know,
mom
I know, but they used to
missed.
sell coconuts.
My mom missed the end kind of the Cold War. 'Cause she was born in 77, so
Dude,
she kind of
she-
came towards like the back end of
Dude,
it.
my grandma grew up during World War II.
Yeah.
Like, my great-grandfather fought in it. And, like, she had to grow up during that, and it was terrifying. She was always scared. Because they were always like, wonder who's going to drop a nuke over here? And then America dropped nukes on Japan, and they were just like, oh,
Hiroshima
shit.
and Nagasaki.
Yeah,
Which
so
is
like
which is the only nukes that have been dropped in
honestly,
war.
I wake up every morning and I'm like, is today gonna be the day?
You know what actually frightens me the most, though, about the war thing? Is the fact that we've never had war on our own soil besides, like, them attacking us at Pearl Harbor, like, civil wars and shit.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't
waiting
think
for the
it's
day
possible,
that
honestly.
someone actually is ballsy
Tries
enough
to
to try to invade us. You know?
I don't think it's possible.
I mean, I don't
how
think
many
anybody-
Americans are like,
Yeah, we all have our
you
guns.
fucking try, you son
Try
of
to
a
get into
bitch!
Texas.
Especially in the South,
Could
like,
you imagine?
I feel kind of
could you
bad
imagine?
for whoever
It's like
tries to
it's
come
like.
over here.
Could you imagine like Texas like a secret wall like around the entire state of Texas? America's been invaded. The like governor of Texas. The walls just shoot up and just everybody just guards
We've been prepared
Texas.
for years.
Yeah,
Well, you know how it's almost impossible to shoot missiles anywhere these days.
yeah,
with
it
satellites and
honestly
everything.
is.
Yeah.
And it's like I don't think anyone's ever going to come close to touching
I
America.
think the closest a ballistic missile can get is California. That's
Well, yeah.
legitimately the closest it can get
It-
from like
it's-
North Korea and
and
Russia.
that might be the fastest it could travel.
California.
And
It's-
California's already on the brink of collapsing into the ocean anyway. So.
you might as well let them go.
I mean, I'm not opposed to like. If
But then
they
again,
wanna
we gotta
throw
get
one
Tom
just
Cruise
to see
out
how
first.
far it goes, and it hits
To
California.
test.
Yeah.
Well, like, wasn't there like stories
like
of like
they do
North Korea
work.
shooting out missiles, but it didn't even get past like.
They were trying to make one that was far enough to reach like into Texas and
California.
then California, then Washington. Shoot.
And they couldn't do it.
Oh yeah, it's fucking impossible. We shoot like a missile going from North Korea to Washington D.C. You don't think our satellites would shoot that down in a second?
You know damn well that they're gonna literally have to.
They would
like-
literally have to like get onto our shores.
Yeah, the shores are fly planes over here.
And
Like, let's
there's
be
no
real.
way you're flying planes over here.
Yeah,
After
exactly.
fucking Pearl Harbor, America's like, you want to try to fly a plane over here? We'll shoot it down 1,000 miles away.
Guess why you can't get your shampoo bottles through airport security, fucker.
Mm.
See, like, you know, they would try. I think the only way it would happen is they would try something. We would shut down the attempt, declare war, and then somehow we'd fuck up sending everyone over there.
And then
They
get
just
ambushed
get
by someone
whip
else.
right beneath our feet.
Yeah.
Well, because like the thing, like we were talking about yesterday, like Putin and like he threatened the U.S. if we moved any more nuclear missiles into Europe, he would threaten us with nuclear warfare. He'd aim all his shit at us. I think it frightens me that like Russia, Putin made the comment several months ago that he had like the EMP big enough to wipe out our entire military across like the ocean and shit.
Not possible.
I think it's possible that he could wipe out like a big enough portion of it. But I don't
Okay,
think
to
he'd
get
wipe out the whole
across,
thing.
yes, but like,
Not
how
the
is he gonna
entire-
get our satellites in space?
I don't know. All I know
Hey man,
is
all I
that
know
shit
is
like that.
we've all played
Because
MW2.
if they take out the computers, we're fucked.
Dude, EMP, and like a well-placed couple EMPs in America could destroy us.
Well, no, but we still have computers in space monitoring some satellites.
Well, there wouldn't be a signal here. There's nothing for them to
All our
connect to
shit here
here.
wouldn't work. Nothing.
Well,
on
I mean, I'm sure there's a way for us to control things in space, like from space.
Dude, I think an EMP could fuck us in the ass.
I mean,
I think it would be if somebody wanted to fuck with us, that would be the way to go. I think that would be the first step in initiating like we're coming to get you.
you'd have to shut down our satellites. Yeah. If you shut down our satellites, we can't do shit.
Well, if you hit an
I mean, honestly-
EMP here, you can't see like anything on the monitor.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
nothing works.
I mean, if our president won't let people come in from the country that resides directly beneath us,
And half
Or
of Texas
directly
is
in front of
Mexican
us?
and shit.
like, I don't think anything's getting into America.
Yeah.
Dude, I can't believe he's still trying to build the wall. It's gonna be one of those. It's gonna be like the Berlin Wall or some shit. Like he could actually get the wall built, but then the next president will immediately tear it the fuck down. Like there's no point. You're wasting billions.
I mean,
of dollars.
especially if it's a Democratic
Oh
president.
yeah, especially
And especially if it's Elizabeth Warren. She will tear it down and build flowers.
Actually, no, I think
instead.
even if a Republican was elected into office after him, I would bet money they'd tear it down anyway.
A bunch of Republicans
definitely.
do not. The only reason why it stands is because there's so many co-riders of Trump in office that are just like, yeah, sure, we'll build your war ball.
You know how several people have released books on like the campaign running for Trump and him leading up to being elected? One of the guys on his team actually stated that when they won the election, his entire campaign squad was like, "Oh shit, we just won.
Yeah.
Now what the fuck do we do?" Like they were not.
They were
prepared.
surprised.
They were not prepared for
it was
America
a
to back
meme
him.
for the longest time,
People-
and then people were like,
Yeah,
"Uh-oh."
his own campaign committee was shocked as shit to learn that they had just won. They're like, "Okay, fuck. Now what do we do?"
Well, shit.
I didn't think we'd get this far.
Dude, that's like. Dude,
Let's
that
kick it into
happens to,
maximum
that's happened to
overdrive.
all of us all the time. We're like, oh god, I didn't think this far ahead.
Yeah, that's like asking a girl, and she's like, "Yeah, sure," and you're like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah, like
Where do I
asking
go
a
from
hot girl
here?
outside, would you like to go have dinner? Sure. Oh fuck.
Oh,
Did you just say yes?
Now I need to clean my car. I need money, nice
I
clothes.
didn't think I'd get this far. Thank you,
Where do I get the
Obama.
money? Donating plasma. Dude, my dad told me back in the day when he needed money, he would donate plasma and go to a sperm bank. And I'm like, Dad, are there people out there that
Do I have more siblings?
Dude, my dad looked at me and was like, no, motherfucker. They said they'd call me if they ever used it. And I was just like, you ever not answered your phone? He's like, a lot of times. And I was just like,
Hold on.
Hey, Dad? He was just like, oh. I was like,
If you
oh,
guys-
God, no.
If you guys were ever short on cash, would you actually donate sperm to sperm bank?
Yes.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't see why not.
I don't
I
see
mean,
why not.
okay,
Dude, you used to get
I
paid
would
like,
donate
you
plasma
used to get paid
first.
like $120 to do it. Back then you did, so my dad was like, did it all the fucking time.
I was like, that's a piece of cake. Every like 10
I mean,
minutes,
I-
just
I-
go.
I just whack
No,
it
you
in.
can't do it.
You can't do it more
every,
than once.
It's like every 72 hours or something like that.
Shit,
That's
every
still not
72
bad.
hours, I'll still go. Let me
$120,
tell you
yeah.
what.
Hell yeah.
It's
not
easier.
that much anymore.
You don't get paid that much anymore.
Oh no, but I'm saying like back to like $120 every
you
like
get-
3 days.
Oh, my
I'm
dad was
so
there
in.
all the time.
You get money for plasma pretty good now, don't you?
It's like $100.
Yeah.
Depending on how rare your blood is.
Ooh, boy,
Dude,
my blood's pretty good.
What's it called? Auntie Anne has the,
Yeah, O
like, the
negative.
rarest blood type, and so she can give to anyone. So
Shut your ass up.
her blood is in high demand. So she donates all the time.
Let me see what I
But
have.
she,
Hold
but
on.
she donates. She doesn't get paid for it because Auntie Anne's a good person.
Oh, if I'm donating plasma, I'm taking the money with me.
Oh, yeah.
You gonna stick a
dude,
fucking needle in my arm? You gotta be tripping if you're not giving me some money or some cookies afterwards.
I want a sticker and a sucker.
You better have some chocolate chip cookies, motherfuckers!
Dude, it's so rough when they don't have cookies. You go over there, you give them your blood, and you're like looking around like... You have your juice box in your hand, you're like, where's the cookies?
Like,
Like, oh, I'm sorry, we were all out of freshly baked
are these
cookies.
all oatmeal raisin?
I want my blood back, bitch!
Just
You don't
grab
like
some
oatmeal
Pump
raisin?
it back in right fucking now.
Come on, you don't like oatmeal raisin?
No, raisins are gross, bro.
No one likes
You like
oatmeal
oatmeal
raisin.
raisin.
That's because you're a weird little fuck. Chocolate chip or die.
You know what? You also
Chocolate
suck
chip,
toes. That explains a lot.
M&Ms.
Macadamia nut.
You leave
White
my
chocolate-
sucking...
white
He
chocolate-
also sucks toes. That explains
Everything is
Dude.
understandable now.
You
That
leave
is
my
the
sucking
weirdest
toes out of
fucking
here,
thing.
motherfucker. That's my kink, and that's my kink only.
I'm not kink shaming you.
Dude,
saying
I'm
it's
pretty
weird.
sure my brother does that shit. I'm pretty sure my brother's a freak. Like, cause, dude, there was a time where he showed up and he had like he had a big ass gash on his leg, and I was like, "The fuck happened to
You
you?"
went into some BDSM shit.
And he was
right?
like, "Oh, it happened when I was having sex." I was like,
What the fuck?
And you're
they
What
not
kind
doing?
of sex were you having?
I was like, and you're not gonna explain anymore after that? You're just gonna leave me here wondering? And he was like,
Yeah.
yeah. And then like 3 days later, he was like, "Oh yeah, his girlfriend like cut her toenails and like did something, and she just like took a chunk of skin out of his leg
Holy fuck.
with her toenail." And I was just like, "Oh,
I
dear
wish I
God,
got laid.
dude, it's annoying because my little brother fucks. Oh, he's a little fucker. He fucks.
fucks.
He fucks
Yeah,
everything.
he's a fucker, he's a fuck, he's just everything.
Boy, out if he got a hole.
The worst thing about him is
No,
he has
no.
no common sense, but if you ask him to help you on homework, fucking genius in school. You tell him, "Hey, don't touch that, it's hot." He'd be like, "No, it's not."
You know what?
Oh,
You don't
it's
tell me
hot!
what to
And
do.
burn his fucking hand.
I feel that. Just
absolutely zero common sense. It's so fucking annoying.
Oh no, I'm one of those guys who tell me something. I'm like, oh, is it though?
how far can I defy this
Yeah.
before I get in trouble?
Like, hey, that's really
Well,
bad for you. Oh, is it though?
Yeah, I'm that way too, but like, don't touch the hot stove. Most people be like, "Okay, I wonder if it's hot." Hold their hand above it to feel the heat. My brother's just like, "Nope." He'd fucking touch a hot stove and just, "Oh yeah, that's hot," and burn his hand.
One time my brother almost burned down our house trying to make popcorn.
Popcorn?
I told this man, hey, because I was, just we were like maybe, I think I was 13, he was 8. He goes, "Hey man, I'm really hungry." I'm like, "Okay, go make yourself a snack." He's like, "I don't know how to." I was like, "What do you want?" He's like, "I want popcorn." I was like, "Yeah, go ahead, get a popcorn sack, throw it in the microwave, hit the popcorn button." He goes, "Okay, sounds easy." I'm sitting there playing my Call of Duty.
Did not take the.
And then all I hear is, Josh! And I like throw the controller behind me, run in there. Fucking everything's just like sparks flying in my microwave. I'm like, "What did you do? What did you do? Mom's gonna kill us!" He goes, "Oh, no. And I open the fucking door. I'm like, "Holy shit." Grab a towel. I'm like, whack.
Mom's gonna be so pissed.
And I pull it out, and I'm just like, "What the fuck happened?" He's like, "I couldn't find the popcorn button." I was like, "Okay." He's like, "So I just pressed 10 minutes." I was like, "Jesus, 10 fucking minutes?"
Burnt ass popcorn destroyed microwave.
I said, "I'm not calling Mom." I said, "You're just going to clean that shit out, and we're going to hope to God she doesn't ask us questions."
She doesn't smell.
She
anything.
comes home an hour later. She goes, "What's that smell?" Walks into my room. "Josh." I go, "Mother."
Gets real serious with you, like, "I know you're lying to me."
And I go,
Before you say anything.
I go, "Yes, Mom." She's like, "What happened in the microwave?" And I go, I don't really know. I think Jared tried to make some food." She just walks straight up to me, grabs me in my shirt collar. She goes, "Why were you letting Jared make food?" I was like, "Mom, he's 8 years old. Like,
He's got to learn somehow.
I was cooking ramen at 7. What up?"
Miss me that shit, Mom.
She throws me back, like, away, and she goes, "Oh my God." Slams the door. "Jared!" That was the first time I've ever seen my mom yell at my brother.
And Jared's
And
in
the
there
funny
with this
part
burnt
is-
bag of popcorn.
Yeah.
Like, what?
He's sitting there, like, starving. He's like, "Mom, I'm so hungry. I'm sorry."
I tried to feed myself. It didn't work.
And the one thing I remember hearing, I was sitting there playing Xbox, pissed as shit, like, "Fucking Jared, come on, man, get me in trouble again." And all I hear is, "If your brother ever tells you to make your own food again, you tell him no." And I was just sitting there like, "Fucking asshole."
She's like, "Wow, Jared's the responsible one now. Son of a bitch."
It's so funny.
3 days later, she leaves the house again. It's the middle of summer vacation. He goes, "Brother, I'm hungry." I look at his ass. I go, "Well, you're not making any fucking popcorn." Again, I'm like sitting there in the middle of a card game. I'm like, "All right, well, this free for all is almost over. Give me a couple seconds." He goes, "I'm
Hold
hungry
on,
now."
hold on. The dire question, which Call of Duty was it?
Modern Warfare 2.
I'm going to jizz all over the place.
And I was sitting there, I was like, playing my intervention, quick scope it. I was like, I'm going to win this game in like 5 seconds, bro. I was like, well, I'm hungry now. I remember the most heated I had ever been at my little brother. I looked him in the eyes, still playing the game. I said, you will wait 5 fucking minutes. And turned back to my game and just kept playing.
I don't need you getting me in trouble again, okay?
I swear,
this.
Dude,
that man shat his pants.
Dude, Modern Warfare 2 used to piss. You think League of Legends pisses me off, dude? I've gotten pissed in fucking Modern Warfare 2. But I threw a controller against the door and it shattered. My dad walked in and was just like, "What was that?" And I was like,
Nothing.
I was like, it may have been a controller, and he was just like, "Why are you throwing a
Okay,
controller?"
let's be honest.
Like, this
Was
shit's
there
stupid.
ever a more fun time in your life than the days of Modern Warfare 2?
No. Best Call of Duty,
No.
hands down, no one can argue that.
It was.
That
it
is
was
where
so
my
much fun.
life began.
Yeah.
Because-
Everything up to that point, irrelevant.
Commando Pro knifing, bitches. That's what it's about.
Everything up to
Fuck
that point,
you.
irrelevant.
Commando knife, Commando lunge, it's all you ever needed.
I made all my friends playing that game.
Yeah,
That's true.
I made all my friends playing that game.
I stayed up for the first time for 24 hours playing that game.
Oh my god.
True.
My life began the day that game was released.
I remember, Tyler, what game was it that we waited in line at GameStop and you were yelling
Black
my
Ops
name? Oh, but Black Ops 2. Tyler, all I hear is, Ryan. I was like, Jesus?
Dude, I remember when, which Call of Duty was it? I don't know which Call of Duty it was. I went to so many midnight releases for Call of Duties. There was one, I want to say it might have been Black Ops 3 or something.
Yeah.
We were standing in line, and there was a guy in front of me, and I remember sitting there, like, younger. I think it was before Black Ops 2, or Black Ops 3. It was right when they started doing the exosuit shit.
Oh, so
It would have been Advanced Warfare.
Advanced Warfare.
Blech.
They were like, I really hope there's no, like, space, like, monkey jumping, like, Halo action going on in this game. And all I could remember thinking is, like, I turned around and I was like, are you fucking serious? They have fucking exosuits in this game. Of course there's Halo jumping, you fucktard. I was so pissed sitting in that room that night.
It pissed me off because in Advanced Warfare, he was only good with the dual wield fucking pistol
Submachine guns.
bullshit, and it was annoying because we'd play kill confirmed. I would have 40 to 50 kills, and he would have 50 confirms because he'd run around. Like, oh god, sweet triple kill, Christian. And runs off. I'm like, dude, I can't get kill streaks because of your
At
ass.
one
Giving them
point, I was
dog
actually
tags.
ranked like in the top 100 people for kill confirmed just for picking up tags.
Yeah, it was the
Giving them
stupidest.
tags.
It was like 180 in the world for
Yeah.
picking up tags because we'd literally team up and me and Ryan had the most kills. This dude would have all of our tags. Like I would have like
Hey,
5
man.
confirms, and that was from like meleeing someone close to me,
know,
or like kicking them or something.
dog gotta eat.
Everyone finds their own way.
Dude, I think the most
Dog
confirms he
gotta
got was like in the 60s in one game because me and Ryan both had like over 30 kills, and he
Like I
just
said,
like we were sitting
dog
far back
gotta
with the
eat.
snipers, and we used to see Christian like me and Ryan like team wipe him, and then Christian gets all the
Because
tags,
you could run so
then-
fast with those
and
little
then
submachine
runs
guns out.
away, and then they all spawn, kill some more, and Christian
Because
runs away,
I
and
would
kills
literally
some.
just rock the submachine gun and 6 perks. I don't need like external equipment. I don't need grenades, tomahawks, nothing. I was just needed perks. That was it.
The only game that I was honestly pretty good at was MW3, One in the Chamber.
I love
MW3 is one of
MW3.
the worst Call of Duties ever. I really
Dude,
do.
Yeah, but One in the
you
Chamber
used to
was so
host
much fun.
Used to host the biggest
It'd be like
infected
18
lobbies.
to like 24 people in an infected
You,
lobby.
I don't know how the fuck you would get people in that, and people would stay for like 8 hours playing infected with
Remember
us.
ex-convict Ben?
Yeah,
He had a lot to do with that. Me and him would always host the lobbies together.
dude, that shit. He would host
Played it
lobbies.
on
We would
Dome,
play
that
small-ass
infected like for hours, and it was the greatest thing ever.
Yeah,
It
Tyler,
was
remember that one in
we
Chamber
did
game?
Juggernaut infected
Oh,
one time.
that was awful.
Where every single person was a Juggernaut, and one person like wasn't or something.
Mm-hmm.
But they had like overpowered
That's kinda-
gun as shit.
That's kind of like Vampire on Black Ops 1.
Oh, that was
Vampire
so much
was so
fun.
good.
Vampire was fun.
Dude, those fucking made up custom games were so much fun, dude. That one in the chamber was fucking bullshit with you because I like me and Ryan were tied for the win, and Ryan was just like, "I see you," and I was like, "I don't see shit." And then the
Ryan
kill cam,
360s.
the kill cam is Ryan jumping off the fucking dome rail, spinning around, no scope, ka-ching, one in the chamber, one bullet whacks me right in the face. I'm just
a
like,
pistol,
A
360
pistol.
no scope.
and then the next game we did Barrett 50 cals, and I destroyed him. It was the only thing I could like quick
Anyone
scope faster than him
phase?
with was a fucking.
Huh?
Anyone phase?
I wanted to be in. You know what I really wanted to be in? Obey.
You know, they just added one in the chamber to Black Ops 4.
Really?
Yep.
Fuck that.
One in the chamber with the new heist
I
mode.
don't like Black Ops 4.
Black Ops 4 sucks. I hate that game.
I enjoy Black Ops 4.
I got bored of it really fucking fast.
I really want an MMO game that it's fucking like you take like the battle royale and shit like that.
Mhm.
So bad.
They were thinking of making an MMO League game. It's like an MMO with League characters.
I would play the shit.
I would have
A
loved
lot
that
of people in the
fucking
community
fucking
were like,
fun.
"Yes,
Please.
I would do.
Let's
the shit
do
out
it.
of
Yeah, I would play the
Because
shit
not
out of
Because
it.
if you think about it, League has one of the thickest lores out of most games like that.
I bet if you put all that lore together, it'd be like such a giant book.
It'd be a
because
fucking
there's a
amazing MMO.
Like, because you could literally make a game just with Rise alone in that game because
Yeah.
the story he has.
Well, he was
behind
like
him,
one of the original characters, so he is like
Like,
the thickest lore ever.
I mean, in the cinematic trailers, there's like crystals lined up, and he only has like 2 of like 5, and he's like kind of gather all the crystals, like protect them from everybody because they're like power crystals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy to think that if they actually did that, like from a business standpoint, that's a huge increase in revenue just from creating new content. You create a bigger following, you get more people involved in one section, and then.
But the thing is,
they
it
get
takes away
deeper-
from your other game. This is why they're so sketched out to do it, because it's like, because so much of the community have said that, hey, if you make this MMO, I will only play this MMO. I'll probably never play League of Legends again.
See, but I don't believe that though. I think at some point, like, you'd have a big enough following over here because it's so new. But then it's like, I think there's people like us who you go without League for so long. When you go back, it's refreshing and you play 15 games in a row. I think you create a bigger following and a new following, and then eventually the people who left come back. But then your new following, maybe they want to try what was before. They
Yeah.
want to try something new.
I just want a game. I just want an MMO where you
League's
can.
almost 10 years old now.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Yeah, that's
The
not
only
an
other
MMO that you can play.
The only other game I can think of that's as old as League would be like
World
World
of
of Warcraft.
Wow.
And they're recreating their older shit, like World of Warcraft. They're recreating expansions and shit just
Yeah.
to replay it. It's crazy.
You know what we should do? Can we start a WoW group? Can we play
No.
WoW?
No.
World of
Can we
Warcraft?
please play some WoW?
Dude,
Because you
want to
know why I don't want to play WoW?
You have to be playing that game from the start to be good at
I
that.
did play it at the start.
I
And,
never.
like, it was fun.
I never
Like,
thought about
played
playing
with everyone
WoW.
that was older than me.
And you're a nerd.
That's kind of like how we were talking about trying to play Dungeons and Dragons one time.
Honestly,
But I want to try that.
I would
but
be
I wanna
so
play
fucking
that.
down to
I
play
wanna
Dungeons
play
and
Dungeons
Dragons.
and Dragons.
Just to try it.
Isn't it that like a 12-hour game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That
we
sounds
start.
like so
you
much
can't tell me
fucking
you
fun.
wouldn't be interested in just trying it once.
I want to play
Could you
that.
imagine recording ourselves playing Dungeons and Dragons and putting it on YouTube?
A 12-hour.
And the best part
video?
about Dungeons and Dragons is you have to play as that character. There is no IRL talking. It's all Dungeons and Dragons.
We'd be such big nerds, but I'd be done.
I would love.
I
to
would
play
love
that.
to play it, dude.
I would love to
I
play
want to
it.
be the dungeon master.
You would be our dungeon master.
Yeah,
Let's
you,
be
talk, you
honest.
could not be the dungeon.
If anyone
master
else
with
was the
control
dungeon
freak.
master, you would flip your
Yeah,
shit
you
like
would
you're
fucking.
doing it
You
so
would blow
wrong.
a blood vessel in your fucking brain.
Like,
Like,
oh my god, if Josh
like-
doesn't
like-
fucking dungeon master properly, gonna explode.
I'm
Like,
gonna chunk this shit out the fucking door.
like you know how Frank in my forehead, the giant like vein,
Yeah.
you would grow one and then it would pop. Like
no, I don't know. There's so many things that I just want to happen already. Like fucking VR deep dive. I'm talking about some Ready Player One shit.
Dude, if you could get into a virtual reality experience the same as Ready Player One, you would never go outside again.
Speaking of like,
Well, I mean, if you
I
look at that
never
movie,
would.
no one did ever go outside.
Yeah,
So I
they
mean,
were all stacked in their like
You know,
mobile homes and shit.
but like
playing
thinking
VR.
about it, remember what I was telling you about Apple?
I do.
About their new university that they're making? Did y'all hear about that?
No.
In San Francisco, to their new facility?
is it like 1 million square feet?
1 million square feet.
Yeah,
It's going to be
alright.
just as big as the Pentagon. It's going to be bigger than the Pentagon. Same design, except it's a circle. And
Okay.
they're going to
Surprised it's
have...
the shape of an apple.
what are we gonna call it?
I don't know what it's called.
I have no clue.
But it's...
The circle.
Yeah, it's Apple University. But like, on top of that, they're going to have their own like section where they're just going to specifically work on VR.
Good.
Apple's going to be the
I'm alright
one.
with that.
See, and Ryan was telling me that he actually thinks that different
Companies.
company owners like Sony and like Microsoft, they'll come together to work on this project. I don't see it
I
happening.
think they have to.
I don't think they.
See, it makes sense to come together to make major advancements, but at the
then
same
they-
time,
if you're
from
thinking
a,
about
from
the
a
money,
business
though,
standpoint,
like yeah, who's gonna take all the money there?
Well, because if Sony already won't allow cross-platform with PlayStation, with Xbox, I mean, if something that
Dumb as
small they
shit.
refuse to move on,
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to believe that they'd come together to work on strides in technology that way.
But like, look at the technology that we're getting now. We just got the 2070 RTX.
Oh don't know what the fuck that is.
So RTX is racer tracing something graphics for games.
I think that's legitimately my computer.
Yeah,
Like you have a 2080.
Yeah,
it's a 2080, but it's not RTX. RTX is the next generation of those.
It might be. I'm not sure. I didn't read the box.
And it's so fucking legit. Like the graphics on there, because it just works so well with
dude,
everything.
I just want to open up Anthem and look at how beautiful it is on my fucking
I need to
computer.
go home and download it. Okay, so we were actually past the hour mark. There's one more thing I want to bring out before we bring this to a close, and it's you guys heard about the Amazon deal that was going down in New York, right?
Amazon
No.
deal. What is that?
Amazon was going to move in, and they were going to actually build their own store.
Oh, you're talking about like a store?
in New York,
Yeah.
and they were going to build it. And I don't remember what the senator's name was. It's this female. She basically stood up to them because they were going to get a $3 billion tax break for moving in, and she basically shut that shit down. She stood up to them, and after she basically told them no, Amazon completely backed down. And was like, "We'll just take our business elsewhere," and
They come to
she
Texas.
she completely played it as, she saved the city so much money, and she's standing up to a big corporation.
No, she didn't.
Well, one of the things is, it's not like the city was losing money at that point. The city's going to make a shitload of money off of Amazon.
Yeah.
Going to make a shitload of money off the tax breaks anyway, and on top of that, it was going to give a big growth spurt to the job industry. It was going to create 10,000 jobs in New York. And she completely turned them off, and Amazon's like, all right, go fuck yourself, we'll go elsewhere. She completely just told them no because she
Watch them
thought...
come to Texas.
Well, and then she's...
That'd be lit, dude.
They-
Watch them go to Dallas or something and just be like,
It'd probably be Austin.
Austin.
I didn't want to say
Or
Austin,
Houston or
'cause,
some shit.
yeah.
Something huge, like a major city.
It's got to be
I
Austin.
mean, Austin's like Texas's version of fucking what's Silicon Valley.
Silicon Valley.
Yeah, Silicon Valley in Texas is Austin.
Yeah.
What's Silicon Valley? Silicon Valley.
But it is, because look how what's next to Austin. What do you have? San Antonio, another big place.
Well, because she's also under in a controversial scheme right now. Because after she did all that, she actually employed her boyfriend to be on her payroll, and they're actually accusing her of abusing power.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. I would think that.
Yeah. So she actually lost the city of New York probably shitloads of money.
Fuck yeah.
Because, I mean, I understand that you want to stand up to big business, but how do you tell Amazon no?
Yeah.
Amazon's
That's
the leader of it. Amazon will be
Ma'am, do you
monopoly.
have a Prime account?
I think Amazon and Disney will rule the world someday.
Dude,
Easy.
that dude.
I was gonna say
the
that's like
dude who owns
Blockbuster selling no
Amazon,
to
isn't he the
Netflix.
richest man in the world?
Well,
And
he
then
just
his
had
wi-
to split half of his fortune.
I was like,
with
he
his
did have to
wife,
split half
ex-wife.
of his wife, and now she's the richest female in the world.
It's
Literally
crazy that
from
she's now
doing
beating
nothing.
Oprah, because Oprah was probably the richest female before that.
Well, I mean, she did have a major role in the beginning of the company.
Yeah.
You can't just say that she's grabbing money, because she did help.
I wonder why they got divorced.
Well, there was some sort of cheating scandal, is what I heard. That he cheated on her.
Oh, yeah,
while-
yeah, he was cheating on her. Wasn't he cheating on her with his friend's wife or some shit?
Oh
Something
my
weird like
god.
that. Yeah,
I don't know what it
something
was
weird.
exactly, but I know it was a cheating scandal, and it's yeah, you know what happens. Money makes you do things.
It's kind of crazy because someone as big as him,
You don't think he would cheat.
I would think I would probably be somewhat satisfied with what I've done. I have a hot wife. I'm making billions of dollars a year. I'm one of the richest people in America.
I
I'll
guess
just
he
cheat
got-
on my wife.
I wonder
Yeah.
if he got bored.
I mean, it's
He's
possible.
He's like, what else do you do when you have what do you have $53 billion, something like that?
You know what can solve that problem? The realistic sex dolls. So you get yourself a separate partner that you store in the closet.
Just put it in the closet.
Sex robot.
Sex robots.
Elon Musk.
Ones that talk to you.
Elon Musk, are you listening to this? I need you to hurry up and come out with this shit right now.
I will pay
It's
trillions
crazy.
of dollars.
He'd probably do the same thing with those he did on Twitter, how he was selling the hats and the flamethrowers on Twitter.
I was
He'll
about
just
to
be
say, I was
real
like-
life sex dolls on
Can we
Twitter.
stop talking about fucking sex dolls? It's weird as shit.
Why is that weird?
You're telling me you want
Why the fuck would you want to fuck a robot? No, it's weird.
I mean,
You're not getting no pussy, you might as well just get some.
I'd rather fuck myself than a goddamn robot.
What's the harm in just doing it once, though?
Yeah.
I don't even want to do it once.
This is why you'll never fuck an Asian.
You can go fuck yourself,
I get used
sir.
to some strange, bro.
I don't want strange from a robot.
Alright.
And with my luck, I'd catch some kind of fucking STD from a fucking robot.
A virus.
A virus.
Computer
I'd catch a virus from a fucking
you
computer.
literally get digital AIDS.
No. Oh
yeah,
my
exactly.
God.
That's what I would get from because with my luck, that's how shit goes with me. Okay.
Jesus.
Alright, I think that's a good spot to wrap up.
Really, sex dolls?
Yeah, sex dolls. I think it's a good spot to wrap up.
Sweet. That'll wrap this
Hopefully, we'll
conversation.
bring you more of these in the future for anybody who watches. It's Gambling Gamers signing off. I'm Christian.
I'm Ryan.
Josh.
I'm Tyler.
And we'll see you guys next time. Thanks.
Hey, Christian, you recording this?
Yeah, I am.
All right, well, fuck off.